all you lot.
Ah, that's the understatement of the century.
Gods. Well, I'm gonna turn in for the evening. I gotta make my way back to Seeker compound anyways, so I'll catch you all in the morning. Bright and early. Well, I hope bright and early.
Oh, don't worry. This doesn't affect me in the morning. Fiddle's a fiddle.
Sure. You know, I'll never really hear those lines from drunk people. So, hopefully you'll be the odd one out. Have a good night, Sajar.
You as well, Blake. So, as he departs, Sajar will sort of like look where the bartender is and sort of like, can I have another one of these? And then gestures the flask.
This is old, what's the term? Butter and barrel sort of individual, so, you know, sort of a bold head. This is based off a real life bartender I met one time. Bit of a goatee to him, a bit more rotund fella, dressed in, you know, bound, like wrapped up on his wrist and elbow. It's classic bartender attire. He goes over, gives you a nod, fills back up, tops her off.
Much obliged.
Let me know if you need anything else.
Will do.
Hey, Crash. Has he Dalton? Denton?
Denton, yes. He would have returned a while ago, yeah, in retrospect.
so he got caught up to this guy, yeah?
He got killed by a hag on the way back.
Classic twins.
Classic twins. No, he would have probably returned, maybe around the time you and Katsai are finishing your conversation.
Okay, no, we can still pivot that. So, as Silas gets there, I bring all the stuff up. And walk over to Silas.
This time you can see it. Silas is dreading having to talk to people right now.
I will say, like, we're in a weird chronological state right now. Because I think, like, time differentials, like, you and Oriana have gone out for, like, 30 and come back after 30.
That's fine.
We'll just all say we're all together now, alright? That's what we're gonna say. So you go over to the table, which has Oriana and Silas and Lambert. We're all caught up. Simple as that. I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, my head hurts. time no work goodly. So yeah, you go.
So seeing that Silas is clearly dreading wanting to like talk to people, I have a pass of 22 insight. I think I get that.
You do get that. Whether or not you actually go along with it is up to you.
Man, you really hate talking to people. So anyways.
At least right now. Silas just seems tired, but they will entertain any conversation.
I was going to do a ceremony for Brendan.
They perk up at this. When?
If any of you want to join, you're more than welcome.
I'll take a pass.
Are you doing it right now?
I was gonna go get Slack first.
It's a long ways from here to all the way back to the city gate.
It just looks alright. That's fine.
Well, I'll be here.
I'll come, but I'm bringing my food.
It is not come to go.
He just looks over at Lambert. Would you come for me?
He slams the drink. Alright, let's go.
Offers the same thing to Kasai, but in a manner that I don't know how to do. I never see funeral.
There is no one way to do that. But of course I would come. I do not think we will be honoring Brendan's fell god. I think that is obvious. But we can use a shared god of a provincial Nevroson. Our god. She points at the tattoo on her forehead. Laughs and exalts a little Octavian. Best of both worlds. So, you guys go on your merry way to go pick up slack. What a very weird sentence to say out loud.
We're doing this also. It's like midnight now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super late in the
fucking
night.
late.
Yeah.
We probably got like the last of the food from the kitchen.
Oh my god.
As we go in there, I would just like make sure no one's watching.
There is a I guess a charge of stables, a charge of kennels at the like there. But when you tell him like, you know, we're here to pick up our hounds and stuff like that, he's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's your turn.
He's like, you're the one that came in with the Seekers earlier. I don't get paid enough to keep tabs on it. He's a city guard.
Right. I just want to cast this without them being like, oh, that magic? You doing a magic?
No, you're all good. He's like, yeah, let me go get your, let me, you know, this is where the hounds are. It's a real big, it's not even a kennel, really. It's more like just like a free space that's like walled off. Like sort of like like a zoo. Right, it's not like a kennel, which is actually like a big cage or whatever. But Crash, zoos are big cages, whatever, man. Go complain about SeaWorld before you get to the land animals. Anyways, so you go over and, you know, all the hounds are there, which, you know, dire wolves are definitely on the more interesting side of things to bring into here, but, you know, the guard opens it up and lets you go grab Slack or any of them if you so want. He doesn't care. He's used to it. And you go grab Slack.
Like, lightly say, we're doing a burial for one of our lost pack. If any of you want to come, you can.
Let's see. Guy would, Fang would, Slack obviously would. Kebab maybe not. Maybe actually. We'll say Kebab does. Ripper doesn't. Who am I missing? Guy, Slack, Ripper, Fang, Kebab. I already said Fang. Do you guys only have 5? I thought you had 6. Wait, I have a list right here. Wait, what am I doing? I can just look at the list.
I was gonna say consult the list.
Ye old list.
I'm gonna feel bad if we're forgetting one.
Pick!
Right.
Forgot pick.
Oof.
Ironic.
Yep.
Never pick.
Yeah, pick wouldn't.
Don't remember my name? I'm not going.
Pick be picky like that. So yeah, you round up some of the hounds. Some. Oh, I think Seeker Blake would say not to bring the hounds.
Why?
Well, maybe. Because hags are notorious for controlling animals.
Okay.
Fairies in general, hags are even worse. Horses might have a use. We'll cover that in the war council. Anyways, though, yeah, you grab, you know, some of the members of the pack and head on out. And the guy who's like, it's like midnight right now. The guy's like, all right, if you come back and, you know, just if I'm asleep, wake me up or whatever. Long night ahead.
Understood. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No, it's fine.
Hey, do we like run into Alessander on the way back, or?
I don't know. Is Alec in a position that he's able to...
I can play.
Okay, just checking.
Or
You
is
guys-
Alexander in a position where he can?
I think you probably, well, because all you're doing is like buying rations and supplies and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So you probably
just
would have been
everything.
available at the inn this entire time, but you were as a player weren't. So we'll say they
Right.
bumped into you because they're
All the way
basically
out.
going from the center part of the city to the bottom gate.
Maybe he's been lost in the city like fucking Zorro.
So
You're so lost that you're like, no, I was out here on purpose.
yeah, you guys would have bumped into Alessander on your guys' way out of the city towards the kennel area. So we could say he's Prey's aunt, and Alessander. They have 6-pack of direwolves. That's a bit not normal to say at least. But to be fair, there's lots of nobles that have more interesting monstrosity menagerie.
You just want to see the
So it's not too unheard of.
I like your dogs.
They're wolves. But
We're going to hold a funeral for a friend. You're welcome to come.
I mean, as long as I'm invited, I suppose it would be the kind thing to do to pay my respects to your fallen comrade.
If I remember correctly, you said you lost people too, no? We can do something for them too, if you want.
He probably looks like the most uncomfortable he's looked since you met him. Which isn't to say he doesn't look terribly uncomfortable, but he like rubs the back of his neck and he says, "I'd rather save that for when the job's done. If it's all right to you."
Sai holds up a hand. That is fun. I understand. Oh, he has a thing ready. He's typing it up. We got receipts.
Oh shit!
We got receipts.
What? No such thing.
Yeah, he's gonna delete it afterwards, you're right?
just getting the idea out.
Oh, by the way, Redain, we haven't really spoken much on account of the name straight. I'm Captain Alessander Risewell.
That's just you straight up forgetting. It's like, oh wait, fuck.
Oh, you just
Yeah, I guess
looked
that is
over,
the way,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, right.
Shit, right.
Yeah, you guys have sort of been in each other's company this whole time, but not really known each other's company this whole time.
Right. Anyway, that's out of the way now.
Redain of House Magnus, though that's not my last name.
Of House what now? Magnus?
Magnus.
Any recollection to that? Do you?
Nope.
Okay.
It's not a noble house. If he might insinuate it is.
That's wild. Anyway.
Maybe later.
He will continue to insinuate.
He will continue to insinuate. You're right. I will say Kasai will lead you out of Dovros if you guys want to have her be the point on, or take point on the funerary rites. Because it's not something
Yeah,
that should be
I would follow her lead. She's the one with the expertise here.
As you guys are going down, why don't you guys roll me your perception?
Should we leave like a
Actually,
note
just
for
do you guys
Blake?
grab Sajar for? Like, do you guys have grab Sajar? Because Sajar was.
So yeah, it would have definitely been an invitation to everyone. I just don't know that Sajar would have cared to come. That would have been like all the vagrants included as well.
Nice.
I mean,
Oh, that's weird.
Sajar, would you have come? I also know it's late for you, so that's also the other part.
No, you're good. I think before having that conversation with Silas, he would not have, but after having had that conversation, I think he would.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm so glad you said that.
So we have everyone in the call present.
Let's fucking go! First time
Okay.
in what, the last hour?
Let's see. I think you all
Gotta have to be.
succeed.
I'll
on
be
this.
back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you all succeed. Because I lead you guys down the main road that you guys took to get. And remember that when you guys first got here, not Alessander, but when the rest of you guys first got here, you guys had come down from the main mountain, or a mountain path that leads back to the main road. And you guys can see that path as you guys are following Kasai. And you can see there is a bunch of activity still happening down where the, I guess you'll call it the incident site is. Seekers doing their own further investigations, Slayers manning the perimeter. They do see you, and your guys' profile has been circulated amongst the force currently. So one of the Slayers that's sort of holding the perimeter, he has this like tall shield, sort of like an arquebusier, where he's like, like a tall standing shield, and he has like a rifle that could be perched on this massive shield.
Yeah, those are swag.
Those are pretty swag. He like is sort of vibing because it's like fucking midnight. He has this fancy visor that can allow him to see in the dark, and he spots you guys, and he stands a bit upright. But as you guys get closer, he can see you a bit more detail, and then he goes back into a more casual position. And as you guys pass by this detour that leads off the main road to that path, he just nods at you. And Kasai goes over. Can we get access to this? I just want some of the earth. What happened? How about I go get you the earth? Is that fair? Sure. Alright. He goes off. Collects some, brings it back. There you are. And then Kasai goes a bit further down the main road, away from the incident site, and begins setting up a little tiny cairn. Like this stacking of rocks.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it on the main path, though. She goes off a bit into the mire itself. Not into the swamp, but into the direction of the swamp. And begins setting it up. Finding a large stump. Setting up the cairn, taking the flowers, laying it there, pouring small... Let's say ceramic. Oh, it's not ceramic. Porcelain. Yeah, porcelain. Cup of the elderberry gin and stuff like that. And, well, she begins carving into the tree a series of symbols. It doesn't take even religion training to realize that there are two layers to it. The bottom layer are the symbols to the true gods, all 18 of them. Above that bottom foundational etching layer, she puts a few more, only a few, not to the same 18 number. She redoes Exalted Lord Octavian's. She does a sun symbol, which is similar to that on her head, her forehead. She does another one to Zolgir Fenazar. And then she does one that, I don't know if you guys would recognize. Anyone here trained in religion?
I am.
No.
Oh yeah, you are now, yeah!
Can I roll to see if I would have seen it anywhere, though?
I'll say roll background at disadvantage.
Alright.
Oh!
So anyways, about the disadvantage.
That wasn't even a matter of disadvantage. You were just taking that if that was straight, too.
Damn. Brutal.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. Takedown, elimination, brutal. RKO. So, Redan, roll me religion. I see him be typing.
Cha.
I mean, you have guidance, but
Yeah, I don't.
maybe you got a 4 on it. Maybe the guidance.
Don't be having any way to reroll that either.
Oh, actually, you do because Kasai's here.
Swag?
Yeah,
Swag,
Radiant
swag?
Wind. She has 2 left.
We're pogging?
You take a bardic too, and if it fails, you can use it again.
You're
Or else.
currently hating yourself for saying pogging, aren't you?
No, it's worse! Oh,
That's
I'm
what you get for
cornered.
saying
Dang.
pogging.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you want to take a
You
bardic?
would have a bardic, a vantage
So that
bardic
would be
inspiration.
14,
14, yeah. Right.
and then it's a D8.
Advantage D8 bardic. So maybe you could get better than a 6.
That's a
If you...
20.
We'll try one again. Maybe you'll get better.
That's
Nope.
a
Okay.
20.
So anyway, about the
Oh my
20.
God.
It's a symbol because when Exalted Lord Octavian was telling you about all the different, I want to call them aspects of divinity, but there's a lot of different types, and it is a rather mortal thing to connotate them all as divine, or rather godly. But there's so much ebb and flow to their I guess you call it divine portfolio that it sort of muddies at times, which is why you see certain fel gods have similar portfolios as, well, true gods. This one is one of those examples. I should say that there is one more symbol that you would have carded, which is Heartbroken Alicia. But this other symbol is in relation to Heartbroken Alicia. This is one that was told to you by Exalted Octavian, a fel god, that goes by the moniker of the Sapphire Farseer. From what you remembered of Exalted Octavian telling you, she is very similar as Heartbroken Alicia.
Oh, right.
She's very similar. Whereas Heartbroken Alicia is about the general love and camaraderie of, well, family and lust and romance or whatever. The Sapphire Farseer is a goddess of tears. Tears shed in happy and sad moments. She's sort of a mix of Heartbroken Alicia and Archsage Vernier, as she can see every single time man or god will shed a tear. And that's a symbol Kasai carves into the stump. My tribe did not really say anything when any of us passed. We would light a fire, and she, has a torch ready. Not to burn down the forest or anything like that, but just to commemorate. Yeah. But if any of you want to say anything, now is the time.
Yeah, Oriana just kind of like shakes the arm that Silas is holding onto, because I imagine Silas is kind of either hyper focusing or zoned out.
Yep. That kind of shakes them to attention, and they kind of look around like, I am here, I am present.
Hello.
Praying that they have not been asked a question.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, the Silas doesn't want to say anything. Retain will bring up the horn he had. That reminded, as much as it reminded him of Brendan's. We'll bring up the flowers that were Brendan's favorite and the wine that was his favorite. And just set it all down there. I guess no, he'd probably hold the wine because it's kind of like a token.
Certainly.
And just looks at the small cairn and just says, "You were a child that was forced into a world that you did not want as your own. You were not given time in this world, but I will carry your memories for me forever. You weren't able to break your chains, but we will break your jailer. You weren't given the wings you wanted, but we will give you the freedom you deserve. And your loss will always be our loss." And then you would see if anyone else wanted to say anything, but if not, he would just pour the glass.
Yeah.
Anyone looks
Sajar-
over, Silas is crying.
Yeah. So I guess Sajar would squeeze Silas's shoulder. He would reach into his pack and take out this glass jar full of sand. He would uncork it, grab a little pinch, put the cork back on, step up next to Redain, and he would sort of sprinkle the sand onto the cairn. And as he does, he'll say, "There is no cooler shade than the company of friends, and there is no sweeter water than the love of family. I hope you find your way, Brendan, to the oasis in the hereafter, so that you will never be want of either. Shade and water, my friend. Shade and water." And we'll step back.
Lambert doesn't have much words to offer. I suppose he's callous like that. And as Kasai says, her tribe doesn't speak for the dead.
Oh, you know what? He would also cast Speak with Animals again to see if Slack or the wolves had anything to say.
Most of the wolves don't. Slack does. Slack just simply remarks, I'll miss you. Our time together. Napping. Chilling. Eating. I'll miss you.
Whoops. I wanted to look at the description of that. Whoops.
Wolves aren't creatures of many words, mostly because they don't normally talk, but that's really it for Slack. A lot of feeling and intent, even if the words aren't all there.
That still doesn't say anything, but you guys hear, like it says, faint musical notes. They sound sad.
Oriana's.
Oh, too many voices. Come on. Anyone have anything else? Silence.
Then he would pour half of the drink and then leave half in the cup.
So I would go over and plant the torch into the ground, light another torch, and plant it opposite of that one. And to those of you that understand Nevados, offer a prayer. Although hers isn't to, Sol Liege Hidetsaraya, this one is to exalt Lord Octavian. Nothing complicated. Definitely not the sermons you guys heard from Chaplain Dufel, or even any prayers you've heard from Lambert's. It's a lot shorter, a lot simpler, this one. Less of a prayer, more of a beseechment, a request. And wherever he is, whatever happened to him, watch over him as you watch over us. That's all she had, all she wrote. You guys spend some time there in silence. The fire crackles, but it never really burns away the fuel for the torches. Silence with, well, I shouldn't say silence. You guys are silent. Musical notes are playing in the background. I need to make a roll to determine something prior.
Oh shit.
Do not worry.
I will worry all I want. That is my existence.
Face.
Interesting.
Fear their consequences.
Eventually, you guys decide to call it quits for this for the time being, and return back to the main road. As you guys do so, you guys spot that there is a figure sat on a rock that's sort of just been watching you guys from the darkness. Dressed in this sort of pale gray cloak, a censer on his shoulder. It's Captain Janik. It's just sort of been watching you guys from the darkness this whole time. And as you guys are, come back with light on the main road, you guys can see him illuminated. Done with the funeral.
Ria. I hope you'll forgive the flagrant use of magic.
He doesn't dismiss it, wave of the hand. leave it to Twinsian superstition to care about the use of magic. Seekers and Slayers, we're both up. There are plenty of uses of magic we got. Stands up. And plenty of items of magic that we use. Sure, we'll play the harp and dance the song when locals get paranoid about mages, but at the end of the day, dealing with mages isn't our job. Now there's collecting bounties. He gestures at Lambert. Dealing with bandits. Gestures at Alexander. Our job is monster slaying. And learning about them. And helping folk. He reaches into his under his torso kit, like sort of like a pouch there. Like a breast pocket, I guess. And speaking of helping people, this is yours. And he, sort of, it's not like an underhand or an overhand toss. It's more of like a fling. Like he reaches. So imagine this with your own arms. You're reaching into a breast pocket like you would see in like a jacket, like a suit jacket. So your arm is sort of like perpendicular, and he just sort of flicks it, like casting out
Right.
the item. He tosses it to you, Oriana.
Like flicking a
This is
coin
yours.
kind of thing.
Not flicking a coin, no. It's like he's like hurling it with his whole fist, not tinging it with his fingertip. The palm is facing outward when he tosses it. Yeah, so he tosses it over to you. This is yours.
I'm pretty confident
Catch
saying
it.
it's probably the ring.
It's a ring, yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of like rolls it in her hand.
Blake told me you were wanting that.
Yeah. Now, if you had waited till tomorrow, we could have just picked it up and you wouldn't have had to come out here.
Maybe. But I heard you guys are taking a walk. Thought I'd join you.
Besides, who could decline this fresh Twinsian air?
I'll take this air over the air of Dovros some decade ago. Trust me, it always gets worse. Maybe that's how us twinsies deal with it. I will say, for that ring there, lady, that is magic.
It is.
Aye. Normally, that'd be the sort of magic we'd smash it for.
Right.
Shame it's not magic. He walks off.
Richard sort of turns around like, almost forgot, and casts this, creating like a little archway with elderflowers on it around the cairn.
It twists and curls around the base, sort of like this cyclical spiral, and meets above the cairn. Meets in the middle and begins growing and weaving together, and then trickles down a bit across the cairn, and flowers grow up on it.
What a wonderfully magical group you River Company folk are. I wish I had included that in my letter.
Does that make a difference?
It's just something worth mentioning.
And who would you be mentioning it to?
My commanding officer, of course.
Who is?
You're quite inquisitive, Mr. Rodin.
Yeah.
But he right though.
He looks back to everyone. I owe it to them to know everything I can that might help.
He's a man who goes by the name Colonel Hezred Crabane. Of the Silver Swan. But I suppose that goes without mentioning.
Can we get that name typed out real quick?
Absolutely.
Alexander says to the sky.
I got you, God.
If God ain't got me, ain't nobody got me.
Oh fuck! I misspoke, Colonel.
What'd you put, like popcorn kernel or something, or
No.
You said Silverbloods?
Silver Sworn?
No.
Silver Swarm. Does that mean anything to me?
Yes, it would. You weren't present for when Sender was introduced,
That's
but we
right.
just figured that Redan would know of the Silver Sworn. The Silver Sworn and the House Ricewell as a whole are a bit of an interesting situation.
Hmm.
I'll start with the lineage stuff first. So, House Ricewell is one of the few noble houses